Hello, hello, hello. This is take 2 of my attempt to go live. I see myself. Question is, can I be heard? I recorded a video last night. I can hear myself. Great. Question is, okay. I am going to wait a moment to see if anyone jumps on. So far, so good. I think it's working. Okay. I have one viewer, and that's me. Okay. Let me just share this on Facebook. And see if I can get anyone to join me. This has been a hard learning curve for me. Okay. So I just shared it on my Facebook. Now let me share it to my poo page. Groups. Wow, what a hassle. Okay, now I've got it shared in both locations. See if anyone joins me. Okay, so I will go ahead and get started. I received this. This is the Lovely Garden Suite. Let me just say who I am. My name is Tanya. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. This is my page. March is pretty much the last month to use host codes. So if you see anything you're interested in and you want to shop at this site using this host code, and any order over $50 will receive a free gift from me. Okay, so this is the Lovely Garden Suite. It retails for $95.25, but it's a big bundle of goodies. You get, I just received it today, so I'm gonna just do everything on this live. Yesterday I did a 46-minute video making a card and got to the very end and realized that you couldn't hear me. And I don't know why, because the 2 times I attempted to go live, I could hear myself. But anyhow, so this is some velvet. It's a ribbon, but it's thick, like almost like a cord. This is in fresh freesia. These are called Starburst Sequence. They're it looks like fresh freesia or petunia pop, pumpkin pie, and some white. It doesn't tell us the colors on the embellishments, but they're like faceted. They almost look like they're cut like a diamond, so they're quite sparkly. You get your photopolymer stamp set. The stamps are quite large. I'm thinking this might be like a poppy. I'm not sure what kind of, maybe a pansy could be. And then hydrangea. And you get some sweet sentiments. You make a difference with love. Thank you. Thankful for you, friend. And if you get the bundle or the suite, this stamp set has coordinating stencils, which I'll be using tonight. And it colors in the flowers, both flowers and the stems with the leaves. And then you get the coordinating dies. I will open and show. Their die sets are really fantastic because you generally get more dies than just the stamped image. So in this set, you get the flowers, the full flower, and then you have individual little pieces of dies to where you can cut out the centers of your flowers and give it some dimension. And you get some added leaves for greenery. Those are the dies. And we will go ahead and open up the beautiful paper. So the colors in this paper pack is basic black, blueberry bushel, crushed curry, green garden, fresh freesia, and melon mambo. So maybe this is a melon mambo color. I'm new to Stampin' Up. I used to be with Close to My Heart, so I'm still learning the colors from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to move my camera up a hair. So you get 2 sheets of each. This is side A, side B. Side A, side B. These are just a black and white. Very pretty. Side A, side B. Oops. Side A, side B. This is pretty. Fresh freesia. Side A, side B. So this paper pack's pretty versatile if you're not a big flower person. A and B. And then I got myself some fresh freesia cardstock, which the cardstock will be going up in price in the new annual catalog that starts in May. Colors will be retiring. So if you are a cardstock junkie and love the cardstock, place your orders, stock up. and get your cardstock before it goes up. I think it's going to go up like $2.50, and the thick basic white cardstock is not going to be restocked. It's going to be retired, and it will only come in 12 by 12. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting my card base, 8.5 by 11. I'm going to cut it in half at, this is an 8.5 side, so I'm going to cut it at 4.25. And I'm going to turn it and score it at 5.5. So this will give me a top folding A2 size card. So I have that part and that much done. Go ahead, set that aside. And let me figure out what paper I would like to use. I think I might use the polka dot. Let's just go with it. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to cut my base. So I'm going to go 1/4 inch smaller, or so I'm going to do 4. By 5.25. And that will give me a border around, just like so. Set that aside. And I'm going to get out some blocks and start stamping and see what we come up with. Get out some paper to stamp on. Like I said, I used to be with Close to My Heart, so I still have quite a bit of Close to My Heart product, and most of the inks so far have only bought the new ink colors from StampinUp. So all of my inks are primarily Close to My Heart, but the colors are so close. So I think I want to take a stab at stamping out a hydrangea. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off of the carrier sheet. Put it on my block. It's a 4x4 block. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside for now. Because it's new, I'm going to take off the oils. Do that by rubbing it on the back of your hand, on your pants. Just want to get these oils off. You can use Versamark or some, that kind of helps, and then cleaning it off. So let's see how we did. Get it nice and inked up. And I'm using the Stampin' Up glass mat. And I have found you don't really need to have much cushion behind your project when you're stamping on the glass mat, because I think there's enough give in the glass mat to give you such a good impression. And look at that, first time out of the bag, got it. But I'm gonna stamp another one just because I have it out, and in case I mess up. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside. Yeah. Wipe it off with a chamois. Okay, now let's bring out our stencils. So the stencils are numbered in the order that you use them. They're embossed at the top. So it's 1 through 5. You've got 3 for the flowers and 2 for the leaves and stems. The right side is the hydrangea, the left side is the other flower. So we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and line this up. There's been a lot of people giving tricks on how to do this. I just need to figure it out. There we go. Gotta find the piece. Now there's a little V right here cut out. So if you mark that, the rest of the stencils, you line it up to that V, and the rest of the stencils, including your leaves, should line up perfectly. So we're going to try that out. Now to hold this in place, I'm going to use some Post-it tape. Like so. Alrighty. So I kind of liked the look of the very variated colored. Let me get a piece of paper to put behind that light. I liked the variated colors of the hydrangeas. They have pinks and blues or lavenders. I thought those were really pretty. There, that will be a lot better. So I'm going to go for that. I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is close to my heart color, Ballerina, but it is like, it will be like Petal Pink or Bubble Bath. This color is like Bubble Bath. So I'm just going to put some ink on my blending brush here. So it doesn't look like much. I'm going to tap it off, and I'm just going to go over it lightly to get a feel for what is being transferred onto the paper. Less you put down, you can always add, you can't take away. And I'm going to go heavy in a couple spots just to give it a little bit of depth. So I'm going to call it good with that. And then I'm going to go in with lilac, which I think is a close run with fresh freesia. Here's the lilac and the fresh freesia, pretty close. I need another blending brush for the purples. So I have some blending brushes. They're not Stampin' Up. The one that I was just using is Stampin' Up, but I already have one for my purples. So, oops, I forgot to change the stencil. And then these you're just gonna run under water and tap, and pat off dry, because this is all water-based ink, so it'll wipe right off. So I lined up my V and getting my outside edges straight. Gonna put the Post-it tape back down. Now I'm gonna go over it with the lilac and see what happens. Not seeing much of a change. Maybe these two colors don't go well together. There we go. Needed to press a little harder. Okay. That's that one. And then I'm going to bring in the last one. And I'm going to go over that one with wisteria. See, it's kind of like a bluish purple. Lining up the V. And then my outside edges. Put the Post-it down. Since this is still in the purple family, I'm going to go ahead and go over it with my purple, tap some off, and go over it lightly. I'm going to take a peek. I think I need a darker pink in there. So I'm going to go back with the ballerina. with the first one and see what happens. I have a few other I have the other sets that StampinUp carries. I don't know the names of the stamp sets off the top of my head. I've only played with them a couple times. The roses, I think, so a little bit different of a flower. So I'm going to go back over this with, let's see if I can add a little bit more pink in here. Ooh. So layering it little by little. So that's one. I'm going to go back with number 2. And that's number 3. That's number 2. Like I said, you can always add more ink, but you can't take it away. So this was wisteria on here. So let me rub off this ink, get some lilac on here. Go a little bit heavier handed. And then let's do the last one once more, and we're going to just run with it. Now, I'll be cutting this out, but if for instance you're wanting to use this paper but cut it in a rectangle, be careful that you don't go off of your mat. With your blending brush like I did. So lining this up, looks good. Okay. I don't know if hydrangeas look like that, but that kind of looks pretty. So now we're going to do the same. We're going to do the same for the leaves. So we're going to pick out number 4, lining it up with a triangle, and then the outside of the mask. Now, on this type of paper, when you go to put your triangle, if you put a piece of Post-it note down over your paper, then you don't waste it like I did. So I'm going to use avocado, close to my heart's avocado. Just to put a light base of green down. Gonna add a little bit of a deeper blend at the top here to make it kind of look like it's a shadow. And then I'm going to use the jade green from Close to My Heart, which is close to the garden green for Stampin' Up. Change my stencil out. That looks pretty just like that. Okay, so this is the last stencil. Lining it up. And this is going to give us our dimension, like the veins. Not so bad for the first shot. Okay. I can go ahead and just leave this Post-it tape on here. Get my brushes out of the way. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we got an image inked up. Now let's find the die, cut it out. So this piece here, you would line it up and find the flowers it would cut out, and then you could add it on top. Right, I could cut it out on this one, add it to the top of this, and it would give me some dimension. Plus, these dies also cut out images from the paper that I showed you. So let's line this up. Hold it down with some Post-it tape. Run this through my die cutter. Oh. Oops. Bear with me, everyone. I have my image shifted, and I have to reline it up. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's our image. Had to move my iPad out of the way. Okay, so here's our image. Here's our card base, our paper. We need a little something else. So maybe we can cut out some garden green. Grab a piece of garden green here. Okay, get some leaves cut. I typically do my lives on Facebook, but Facebook is doing away with keeping your live videos. They're deleting them after 30 days. So it's kind of forcing me to get used to this YouTube stuff with a larger audience. Okay. Got my leaves cut. Put this over there. Okay. I did cut ahead of time. Some white. Here we go. So this is a retired die from StampinUp. So let's add some ink from our purple brush here. Let's see if we can get any color added. The leftover ink, just to add a little bit of interest to the back of that white paper. Okay. A little bit more. Yesterday's video, I had it all planned out. Had everything prepared and cut. This time, today, I just decided to wing it. Okay, that looks much nicer. And we'll add our leaves behind it. I cut 2 at a time so they're stuck together. Got to be careful because these stems are delicate. Okay, so we got that all done. Now let's stamp a sentiment. I think I want to make this a birthday card. This is a new stamp set that's an online exclusive that just released. It's called Pattern of Friendship. Don't think this is going to fit though. And that happy birthday is a little bit too bubbly. This is a new stamp set that also released. I can't wait to use, called Year of Flowers. I have a special Mother's Day card I'm making for someone with this one. That's why I bought it. This has a happy birthday sentiment, so let me use that. This is a rubber stamp. Here it is. So here's happy birthday. So let me show you if you're not familiar with putting on the red rubber. These are the backs that show what your stamp says, but it is also has a tackiness to it, so it sticks to your block. And then it just peels off, and then you will put your rubber stamp on your carrying case here. So I have this one here I'll use, but I think what I want to do is add a little bit of color behind this also, and then I'll stamp it in black. So let me just add a little bit of ink here. So it gives a little bit of dimension to the white on white. I think that's good. Let me get a block from behind me and my black ink. Now with the red rubber, the cling stamps is what these are called. You don't need to press as hard as the photopolymer stamps, especially on your ink pad, because you'll get ink around this red rubber part and it'll get on your project and then you won't be happy. So tap, 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 and then you're just going to line it up. Let it set for a couple seconds. Perfect. Okay, so set that aside. Now let's just go ahead and start assembling everything and see what we end up with. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to this sheet first because I think I might want to use some of that ribbon. So this will get centered here. Oh, I didn't do a very good job centering that. The liquid glue, I usually use Bear Art glue, but I'm trying to use up the rest of this Tombow green glue that I bought. Okay. Now, let's see what kind of bow this will make. Before because it's one-sided, so you kind of have to do it kindergarten style. Not really liking the way that leaves a bow, but I do have some seam binding, so let me cut a piece of this here, like so. Take some seam binding that was from Celebration. That's also fresh freesia. Let me add some dimensionals to the back of this flower. And I like to take Scotch tape and I am going to just take these two pieces like so, flip them over and tape it down. And I misaligned them on purpose just to give it some interest. Okay, like that. Hopefully everyone can still hear me. I'm going to go ahead and set it down like so. And let's see, tuck in a leaf here. That looks kind of good. Just going to go with it. A little bit of glue. And then, let's see. Go ahead and cut this one off. Put it there. You know, how when you're on the phone and you have little kids, they usually need to talk to you. Every time I start recording a video, my dog has to go potty. It never fails. There. Okay. Now I'm going to pop this up because this is a little thick. And let me add another piece of tape just to secure that better. The velvet ribbon has some dimension to it. It's not flat, so I don't typically pop this portion of my card up, but I think it'll work out just fine. I know I'm doing a little bit much on the dimensionals. Oh, darn it, didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. They're not that expensive, and I want my project to last for the recipient, so okay. Now we're going to go ahead and line this up. Best as we can here. Looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put more dimensionals. Oops. Put that right here. Come down a little bit. Put a dot of glue. Had to move my dimensional down because the leaf had a dimensional. That's okay. Not exactly what I envisioned when I was planning this in my mind, talking to you, but it works. And let's go ahead and add some of these little sparkles. Do 5 of them. And just for fun, if you have some shimmer, let's add a little bit of that, shall we? To some of these flowers. Alrighty. So let's finish it off by adding an insert and set that aside. Cut this for a second. And let's bring in the lilac. Let's take our stamp here. This is a light color. And let's just go off the side here. why don't we go ahead and stamp a sentiment on the inside from this stamp set? Hope your day blooms with happiness. It's a flower on the front. It works. Get use of your stamps. So it's this one here. And it's this sentiment here. Okay, just like that. Pick it up with the block. And just to bring some of the black in from the front of the card, let's just go ahead and stamp it in black. I usually just write my own in inside my cards. I don't usually stamp sentiments, but it is nice. It makes it a lot easier. So let's take some glue to this. Now what we can do is add a little bit of ink behind there. Goes on the inside here. Like so. Look at very nice, very nice, very nice. And we have our envelope. Let's go ahead and take that same hydrangea and do the same thing to the front of the envelope. If you use a light color, doesn't, it's not so crazy. And you could write over it. So I'm just going to go right across the front of my card. Just like so. And there we have it. Down and dirty. Not so bad. Kind of came out cute. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm hoping this one will be able to be posted. If you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. I am definitely going to need to grow my channel. So they say that helps with the algorithm and letting other people see my videos. And with time, I'll get better. But thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed this card, and see you next time.